live.
Your team sucks. Hey, Jordan, your team does suck. You know how I know that?
How?
Because you have 20 teams. You have no one team, so at least 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gotta suck. I'm pretty sure. Luke, your team definitely sucks because you're a Cowboy fan. There's no doubt.
It's kind of hard to be a Cowboy fan these days, Luke. We're just getting chewed on by everybody. It's pretty sad. I don't know if it's worse. My friends are Stephen A. on TV, but one way or the other, I'm getting bombarded by my friends about the damn Cowboys.
It don't matter to me. It's Cowboys Nation.
I mean, I think they're still going to win to get to the playoffs. There's still a team to beat in the NFC East. I know right now they're tied for second behind the 1-0-1 Washington, our 1-0-3 Washington Redskins. I don't know who's in first there right now. It's actually Philly. I'm sorry.
Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles are in
Philly.
first place.
Eagles. That tie means everything.
Yeah.
That tie is actually going to be something that kills Dallas down the stretch. Would that be screwed up if we lose by half a point?
That would be pretty funny.
Anyways, what do you guys like tonight? I got Tampa Bay tonight. I laid it early. The line went from 5.5 to 3.5 with all the injuries from Tampa Bay side. But I already played Tampa Bay, and I relayed it after they moved the line. I think Tampa Bay wins this game against your ugly Bears, even though you're wearing your Bears jersey today. I'm going to call them your Bears today.
Yeah, I'm really was hoping for more last week out of the Bears, and haven't seen it. I would probably bet the Bucks in this one, but I'm really hoping that Matt Nagy offense actually shows up. Really hoping.
Today it's Foles, right? Foles is going to be the starting quarterback. He's usually good for 1 or 2 games, and he starts sucking. So I'm not sure if he's on his upswing or his downswing, but I would probably say Tampa Bay rolls this team. I don't see much coming out of them. If I have to bet anything, though, besides, I bet that under, right? That 44.5 looks pretty good. Under 44.5.
Yeah, I love the Bucks because of their defense in this one. Nothing to do with Tom Brady or the wildly injured receiver core, but that defense is coming into its own. And so, yes, I would play the under. I think that's the play.
The only thing is, Tom Brady's going to throw at least 1 pick six today. He's good for 1 pick six.
1 pick six a game, or just
1 pick six a game? I think he's got 3 maybe already this year.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It's a Bucks thing because Winston used to do the same thing. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. Colorblind over there in Tampa. What do you got next there, Will? What's our next game to look at? Or Luke, I'm calling you Will. It's Luke over there.
Next game we have Philadelphia Eagles and Pittsburgh Steelers, and then we have our man.
The Pittsburgh Philly game. This is a tough game because you don't know what kind of Philly you're going to get. 7 points seems like a lot. I stay away from this game. I don't know about you.
Yeah, pass. Definitely.
By the way,
pass.
I'm back.
Hey, you're back.
I'm back. Technical difficulties. I'm not going to mention the name of my Wi-Fi provider, but I will mention that I pay too much damn money for it to go out like that, especially live. But I'm not mad. The world's a beautiful place. I'm just going to make my adjustment. We're just going to go from there. So which game are we on?
We passed you up. Who did you like in that Tampa Bay game? We only really picked the Tampa Bay game.
Oh.
We were passing on Pittsburgh.
If I had to pick, I would pick the Tampa Bay Bucks on this one. Of course, the Bears do have a pretty good defense, but at the same time, Brady with all those weapons, it's a pretty tough team to beat.
That line movement starting 5.5 to 3.5 scared me, but like I said, I already played it, so I'm on Tampa on the under.
I'm not touching this one.
Under.
Philly Pitt, I said I passed on that one. I don't know. It's a weird game. You don't know what you're going to get with Philly. I pass.
I don't think so. Luke, I'm going to go ahead and take the show back over so I can actually call people's names to make their pick. So let's start. George, you made your pick for here. You're passing.
I'm passing on that.
Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Like this game, or are you going to pass on it?
I don't like the spread. No, I would pass on this game.
Luke?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on this one too.
All right, so it's Philly, right? Philly struggled in a terrible division, and they're in first place because they tied a game. So I love Pittsburgh here, and I would take Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh beats them by at least probably 10 points. So that would be one of my picks. Let's move on to Jacksonville versus the very struggling Houston Texans. Let's see. The Jacksonville Jaguars are getting 6 points. Wow. In Houston. So obviously everybody's expecting Houston to turn this one around. Jordan, what's your take on this one? What do you think is going to happen here? And would you lay any money on this game?
I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why real quick. They just fired the coach of the Texans, and I have no idea what to expect. And after a major coaching change mid-season, I never like to play a team the next game. Let's see what we're dealing with first.
Yep, George.
I actually have the complete opposite feel on that. When they have a new coach in there, I think everything kind of steps up, and they come and perform better than they usually do. And I think they wanted that coach out so badly. They're going to step up this game, and it's time for Houston to get right. And Jacksonville's just horrible. Minshew, I started to buy it a little bit, but there's nothing there. Houston rolls them in this game and comes back and gets a win finally.
All right, I got a name for you. Dan Campbell. Remember Dan Campbell? Anybody? Dan Campbell was the coach, the interim coach for the Miami Dolphins when they had underachieved with all kind of talent. He came in, and the next game, the very first game he coached, the Dolphins won by almost 24 points. I believe they played Nashville or Tennessee, and they absolutely destroyed them. Now, did they do anything the rest of the season? No, but you're going to have a bunch of pent up, great players that have been losing for 4 weeks in a row. I love the Texans in this game. I would take this all the way. Jacksonville was majorly overrated in their first couple of games. Dolphins beat the crap out of them. Houston is arguably a much better team than the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins just have a better coach. So I take the Texans in a big way on this one. Luke, you have any take on this?
I will pass on this game. This isn't something I'd bet on.
All right. So we got the Las Vegas Raiders who are going to get their asses handed to them by the Kansas City Chiefs. The question is, by how many points? Now, this is a division game. Could be closer than I think, but I don't touch this game. George, do you play this one or you leave it alone?
Yeah, actually, my boys at U-Wager opened it up 13, so I bought the 14 early. I like the 2 touchdowns there with the Raiders. A short week for Kansas City. There's COVID scares with Mahomes because he was kissing Gilmore after the game. So I take the Raiders to slow this game down a lot, try to pound the ball, and keep it close.
Jordan?
No, agreed. I like the Raiders' ability to run in this game. Kansas City really hasn't put together a full 4 quarters game yet, although they're pretty spectacular when they do come to play. 12 is a lot of points for a division game. Give me the Raiders here.
So you bet this one. You take this one. All right.
I took 2 touchdowns.
I like it better at the 14 that he was talking about, but I would take the 12 as well.
All right, Luke.
I am one of the suckers and buy all the time. So, I bought it to 14 early.
I like it. I like the game. Of course, I believe the Chiefs are going to win, but that 12-point difference is I'd stay away from it because of that.
There you go.
Very short week, too. It's always hard on that short week.
Yeah.
Remember, they played Monday night.
I agree with Luke on that. The Rams versus the Washington football team. Not the Redskins. They're not called the Redskins. Let me be very clear. It's not the Washington Redskins. It's the Washington football team. So the Washington football team is getting 7.5 points at home. They won their first game. Everybody thought they would be better than expected. I think they won that first game for their coach. Godspeed to him. Thoughts and prayers to him for what he's gone through. They're playing hard for him, but I just don't see it here. The Rams, I think, are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They have some injuries they're dealing with. But with all that said, I don't touch this game. I don't like that half point. George, what are you thinking?
Well, the Redskins actually said they're going to bench Haskins this week, which breaks my heart because he actually put up a good week last week. So I'm sure it's something different than just what he did on the field, because they didn't put him as the second string. He's actually listed as the third string this week, which doesn't make much sense to me. So they dropped their quarterback, and what they're trying to say is because the NFC is so weak that they can move up and get into the playoffs right now, so they want to move the ball now instead of trying to teach this guy to move up. But he had a great week last week. I don't know why you bench him here, but I definitely stay away from this game.
Jordan? I mean, Kyle Allen came in and was QB 15 last year in the games that he started. Had put together a few good weeks. I think he's going to be interested in trying to win that job back. I like that they're giving an opportunity here. The Rams should have beaten the Giants by a lot more last week. I think the Giants gave a pretty good formula on how to slow down that zone rushing attack. I think that this game is a lot closer than people expect. The Rams should win it, but if I had to play it, it would be Washington football team in the under.
Well, would you play it?
Washington football team in the under.
So you're saying you would. All right. So we want to encourage everybody to comment, like, tell us why we're right, tell us why we're wrong.
Send me your hot pick. I need some hot picks. Send me one of your hot picks for the week.
Yeah, we would love to get you guys feedback on your picks as well, too, right? Jordan needs all the help he can get, and Luke really needs a lot of help.
I'm
mentally, physically, with his picks in so many ways. So anyway, and I on a side note, once again, Godspeed Eddie Van Halen. And, we made Luke listen to a little bit of Van Halen, right? And Luke was like, whoa, what's this? There is hope for his generation yet. There's hope there. A little bit, a glimmer, maybe not so much, but just a glimmer of hope. Speaking of a glimmer of hope, you have the Arizona Cardinals versus the glimmer of no hope, the New York Jets, who are struggling, who suck really bad. So you have the Cardinals that are going into New York playing the terrible New York Jets, Jets. And I'm saying right now, the Cardinals are going to roll them because the Jets suck. I take this game all day. And the 7 points, I think, is a good bet. Jordan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I love this. I think this is a get-right game for the Cardinals, who were really off their game last week. The Jets come right at the perfect time for them to figure it out. Hopkins looking more healthy than he had been. I love the Cardinals to just steamroll them. The Cardinals are a much better organization than the Broncos are. The only thing I will say is that this is a long week for the Jets in preparation. So you get those extra couple days, and when you have a good coach in those extra couple of days, it really means a lot. When you have Adam Gase in those extra couple days, I'm not too worried about it. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, every game for the Jets is a get-right game. Every one of them. George?
You heard that the Jets were shopping Darnold, actually. So they're already thinking Trevor Lawrence in the draft. So
yeah. Who's going to buy that? I mean,
maybe Chicago, from what I hear. That's what the talk is.
They just keep sucking up quarterbacks. They can't be doing that.
If Chicago can unload that Foles contract, overpaying for a backup, Jets tank and get Lawrence, buy out Foles at the end of the season, and the Bears are a much better team with Darnold.
Okay, I want to hear what George has to say here.
He's throwing out some miracle scenarios, but I don't really see any of that happening. I think Arizona, every week we've been saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and the last 2 weeks they've done shit. So I pretty much stay away from this game. This is a dangerous game. Jets +7. If I have to bet it, I would take the Jets, but don't bet this game. It's garbage.
Bet the card.
Luke, you any thoughts here?
I agree with George on the last statement. It's not really a game I would bet on, but if I had to pick somebody, I would go with the Cardinals.
There you go. All right. And then we got Carolina Panthers versus the lowly Atlanta Falcons. I don't even come near this thing. I run away as fast as I can from this game. This is completely unpredictable because you don't know what you're going to get with the Atlanta Falcons at all. Really, you don't know what you're going to get with Carolina either. Bridgewater, has looked good. He's looked respectable, but I just don't know what to expect from these teams. I stay off of this one. George, what are your thoughts?
Carolina actually looks decent, but I do stay away from it too. You don't know what you're getting with Atlanta. Pass for me.
Yeah, Jordan.
Well, you know what you're getting with both of these teams in the sense that both these teams can score a lot of points, and I really like the over here. Atlanta has a terrible defense. Panthers' defense is extremely young. There's not a lot of superstars on either side on defense. I like both of these teams to be able to score lots of points, and over 53.5 is the play.
Luke?
I think I would probably bet this game just because of the difference and due to like the Atlanta Falcons losing streak. I would probably bet against the Falcons and go with the Panthers on this one.
If the Falcons lose this game, expect Quinn to be fired, by the way. So we'll see how much they want to play for their coach.
As he should be. He should have been fired long ago.
Which
Him
means
and Bill O'Brien should be getting
coach.
drunk at a bar together probably on Monday. So, yeah.
They'll both be in Dallas soon. Don't worry. Dallas will find a way to fucking find them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, then we got the Miami Dolphins, who are going to be visiting the San Francisco 49ers, and the Dolphins are getting 9 points. Yeah, that's really that's really too many points for me. I actually like the Dolphins here. They play everybody pretty close. The Niners are banged up. I guess you could say the Niners do match up well because the Dolphins have a bit of trouble against the run, but the Niners don't have a quarterback that's going to make any big plays right now. They're going to have to grind the ball out. I don't trust Fitzpatrick at all. But what can you do? Kevin O'Brien thinks the Falcons are going to win big. No, Kevin, what's going to happen there, Kevin, is they're going to get up by 857 points in the fourth quarter, and then they're going to give up 859 points, and they're going to lose because that's what they do, Kevin. I'm sorry to tell you that, brother, but that's exactly what their MO is. You don't know what you're going to get from the Falcons at all, and they have proven that time and time again. Kevin, the best thing you can hope for is that they fire your weak-ass coach because he sucks. Jordan, any thoughts on the Miami Dolphins 49ers?
Yeah, give me the Dolphins here all day long. My main concern with this game is how the Dolphins are going to do covering Kittle and those tight ends. Yeah. Nick Mullins loves his tight ends. If they can slow down Kittle, I like them to make this a very respectable game.
Luke? I know what Luke's gonna say.
I was on this game. I would actually go with the Dolphins. 9 points is a lot of points. Usually, I bet against the Dolphins to mess with John because that's his team. But 9 points is a lot of points. You don't bet. You never bet. I talk shit against John all the time.
Right, that's what you do. That's what you do.
But if I had to bet this game, I'd definitely go with the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins have the same record as who? Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. They have the exact same record as the Cowboys. And speaking of Cowboys,
they're actually outplaying the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys only got a miraculous win, so they should actually be 0-4 if you really want to talk about it.
I agree. George, what do you think of Dolphins Niners?
I pretty much stay away from this game. FSF's starting to get healthy a little bit. They're getting some guys back. They still don't have their quarterback, who I don't think is a big deal. I just stay away from this game because Miami is very well coached.
Yeah, Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic is not always magic. He's really not.
No.
Unless you count.
Last week he was definitely not Fitzmagic.
No. He's Fitzmagic
last week
against bad defenses.
Against Team 32. And allowing points in fantasy against quarterbacks. And he didn't do very well.
I really think you're going to see Tua here in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
That would be cool. Then I'll become a fan of Miami. I'll be looking in to watch Miami.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Tua here next 2 or 3 weeks. I think they're going to the Fitz magic thing is going to be over like it always is for him. He's a cool dude. He's funny. He's scrappy. I love how scrappy the guy is. But at the end of the day, he is massively overachieved. He is a great backup quarterback. Great.
He's my hero, man. Like, imagine his life. He just goes around, plays football a couple weeks a year. Everyone loves him. He's got a great life, man. What a life he had.
He's a scrappy player. The guy will run for first downs. He will do whatever it takes. But at the end of the day, he is either on fire or he's terrible. There's no consistency there at all.
He's definitely a gunslinger, though.
He is. I mean, and he's fun to watch, but
fun.
he is not going to bring any team to the Super Bowl or maybe not even to the playoffs. But he is a serviceable guy to learn from Tua. And, you know, I agree with Kevin. What do they have to lose by playing Tua? I mean, the coach said, you know, essentially Flo said this. He said, look, Tua's coming off of an injury. There's no reason to rush him in there. And, you know, we're going to see what happens over the next few weeks, which means, hey, we don't want to risk getting this kid hurt, right, this year, but we're going to get him some reps. And so I think you're gonna see Tua here probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. If the Dolphins win 2 or 3 in a row with Fitz, then you probably won't see him. But I don't expect that to happen. You know, they're scrappy. They're going to be in these games, but I don't see him winning it. So. But this show is not about the Miami Dolphins. This show is more so about the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys, right? So, I mean, what can I say? I'm speechless when I start talking about the Cowboys. I mean, what can I say about this team that we haven't said? What can we say about the crazy amount of underachievement that this team has brought to the table? I mean, I'm not a fan, but I'm also not a hater of the Cowboys. And I'm just shocked to see what's happened with this team. With that said, they'll probably still win the division. But I don't know. George, I'm just going to let you have your way with this. I don't touch this game because I don't know what to expect from Cowboys. Are you serious, Lucaci? Okay, yeah, Cowboys Nation.
Cowboys Nation, baby.
Well, look, I'm going to just give this time to Luke.
Go ahead, Luke.
George, you don't even need to say anything. Let's just hear what they have to say.
Man, I think we had a terrible start. It's frustrating. I hate losing, and especially losing the way we have. Our defense definitely needs to step up, and I think the Cowboys really do come alive whenever we play other NFC East teams. So this game, I'm taking Dallas, 9 points. We're going to run up the score, and we're going to send Giants back home.
Okay.
That's all I got to say on that one.
So do you actually play this game, Luke? You play this one?
To be honest, I think I would.
Of course you would.
Everyone is frustrated.
I knew the answer. I just wanted to hear you say it. George, what are you thinking?
I'm definitely laying the 9 here. I think Dallas is going to roll the Giants. It's a perfect matchup for the Cowboys. I know they're playing like shit. Everyone's fired up in Cowboys Nation, as Luke's putting it. They're all fired up. You hear them all coming out saying we have to hold each other accountable. You waited the 5th week. I don't know why it took so long, but it's time for them to actually do something. So if they don't win this game, it's over. I mean, so it's this game or none. Believe it or not, this is a must-win for the Cowboys this week.
I agree with you. And Gordon, do you have a take here?
Talk about get right games. The New York Giants game at just the right time for the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys here. I'm staying away from this game because I think it's too many points. We don't know what to expect from the Cowboys. And the Giants did show signs of life last week. They are not the Jets.
I'll guarantee one thing the Cowboys don't do this week: fumble the ball 4 times in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think, you know, I think Cowboys win this game, no doubt. I just don't trust them yet, and I'd like to trust them because I do think when you look at this matchup and you look at the number there, it's probably a great game to play, right? But it's like, but then you scratch your head at the first half of every Cowboys game. And this is a division game. It's going to be different. I think George is right. I think you're going to have all those talented players that are incredibly motivated. And they're not – this is going to be the first game of this season for the Cowboys that they're not walking in with after reading all their headlines about how great they are. And everybody is now questioning how good they are. And that they basically saying that they suck. So
they've been served a big slice of humble pie. So now it's time to put up or shut up.
Yeah, and listen, I'll go back to my Joe Burrow versus other young quarterbacks. Attitude. The kid came into the NFL humble. Humility truly helps teams get better. you never heard any Belichick teams walking around talking about how great they are. And, they have always been humble. And, I think that the Cowboys got a big slice of humble pie. And I think they may turn it around starting this week. And it's too much talent there to lose those games and for those games to be like that. There's just too much. Something's got to happen that's got to be positive. It's just too much negativity for all that talent that's there. So I think they'll get it together and probably be a lot better. And so Minnesota Vikings versus the Red Hot.
I was going to say, even if the Cowboys win this game, if the Giants score points on them, they're going to be thinking new defensive coordinator for sure.
They've been thinking that for the last couple of weeks, I'm sure already.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give Burrow Rookie of the Year. Yes, please. Burrow Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's great. I'm biased because I'm from Louisiana, but yeah, I think that's right. So we got the Vikings versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are unbeaten, and they're great. What can you say? I think that they're vulnerable in many ways, but they're not going to be vulnerable to the Minnesota Vikings. They'll beat the Vikings. And but I probably lay off of this game because of the points. George, what's your thoughts?
It's definitely a stay away game. Minnesota, you're not too sure what you're going to get, but I stay away from this game. I don't really like either team, so I just stay away.
Jordan?
No, I'll go the same way. I think Minnesota's offense was starting to show signs of life and gel a little bit last week, and they may be able to put up points, especially against that Seattle defense. And it's just going to be about who makes big plays down the stretch, and we expect that to be Seattle because we've seen them do it, but it's too many points.
Agree. Russell Wilson is the front runner for MVP this early season. I agree with that. He's been amazing. The only thing that kind of scares me about Seattle is they're so reliant on Russell Wilson right now to make miraculous plays to win games that, can he do that throughout, 17 to 18 games and go to the Super Bowl? They're going to run into some teams that are formidable, and if he's not pulling off miracles, then they're going to lose some ball games. So we'll see.
They're one injury away from being a really shitty team, to be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the Metcalf kid is an absolute beast. He's amazing. But some of the throws that that he has made, that Russell Wilson has made this year, have been incredible throws.
You can't even place the ball there. Boy, he's just dropping them in there. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's incredible. So we'll see if he can keep that up. Jordan, you have any thoughts there?
No, yeah, I completely agree. I don't know if Russell Wilson wins the MVP just because of the team that he's on, and I don't think things can keep going this perfectly. And I think they end up giving it to Mahomes by the end of the year if I had to bet somebody, but he's doing great.
All right, we have the LA Chargers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints bounce back. I expect wow, it's 8 points though. Really? Wow, that's too many points. I actually really like the Chargers here. The Saints have struggled a bit, especially on defense, and they're going to be getting into shootouts. And this young quarterback who's starting is playing really well.
Herbert, yeah.
Yeah, George calls him A-Bear, but he's actually Herbert. And that's because George got too many friends from Louisiana like me. But George, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, Chargers broke my heart last week of not beating Tampa Bay. They had Tampa Bay, and they let them off the hook and gave them the win. I lost a lot of confidence in the Chargers with that game last week, and the Saints actually looked really good last week in coming back. I take the Saints, but it's too many points to lay, so I don't bet the game.
Jordan?
I love the Chargers here with the points, not necessarily to win it, but the Saints have been struggling, and they're missing way too many important pieces, like you said. And give me the Chargers here with all those points for sure.
All right, we got Who Dat Nation in the house right now. Saints recover many important pieces. Thomas Cook. Now, Thomas. He is probably the best wide receiver in the league. So that's a huge piece that's coming back. But we'll see how he plays. First game back, you never know. Luke, you got any thoughts here?
This is probably one I'd stay away from, just pretty much exactly after what you just said. If I had to pick it, I'd go with the Chargers because we still don't know what the Saints are going to do, but this is a game I'd stay away from.
All right. So that's going to do it. Like, share, comment. We appreciate everybody watching our little show here. We have a lot of fun. I like to mess with Jordan because Jordan looks like, what do I always say you look like, Jordan? What is it?
I don't remember. You talk so much shit, it's hard to remember.
Oh, I remember now. It's like, if a leprechaun had sex with Shrek, that would be Jordan. You remember. I just had to remind you.
I think he looks more like Fat Shaggy 20 years later.
Wow. Hey, you skipped a game though. You skipped the Colts against the Browns, which is actually a really interesting matchup.
Well, let's talk about that.
The 3-1 Browns going off against the league's #1 defense in India.
Well, who you like there, Jordan?
Tough game. You got Hunt running against that defense. I would say probably give me Indy there.
I like the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns now have a football coach and they have all that talent, and he's figured out what to do with it. Run the ball. Don't put the ball in Baker Mayfield's hands, and I think they're going to win a lot of games, especially outside of their division. I like the Cleveland Browns at home here. George, what are you thinking?
I like the Colts a lot in this game. I think Cleveland's is a completely different game than last week. Last week was a shootout, a lot of fluffy passing. This week is going to be a hard-hitting game. The Colts are going to come in there and try to pound the ball. It's going to be a whole different game for Cleveland. I actually bet the Colts in this one.
So you like
the under too. I think both these teams are going to try to run the ball a lot. Colts have a great offensive line that's getting healthy. Browns are going to miss Nick Chubb, that 1-2 punch, but Hunt is definitely a solid replacement, the best in the league probably.
All right, that's going to do it. Like, share, all that. Peace. See you next time.
Go Dodgers.